Well, so the first day of semifinals, I'm joined by Jack right now, who is sitting and lording over a triumphant 3-0 against Phoenix. So first off, did you expect the 3-0?
No, I thought it was going to be a tougher game than that, but
Okay.
I'll take a 3-0. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, no problem. Now, we were talking about tomorrow, and I know that you're a big FlyQuest fan. You're always tweeting about it, except for the situations where Cloud9 faces FlyQuest and you hate FlyQuest. But TSM or FlyQuest, which would you rather see your team play next week?
Next week, FlyQuest.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely would like to see C9 gold and C9 blue in the house, please.
But there's only been 3 teams that have ever made it to the finals, and TSM is one of them playing tomorrow. You think there's a chance for FlyQuest?
Well, I mean, High's been part of those finals runs often, so yeah.
Oh, so it just splits off. It's
Yeah.
like because Cloud9 has qualified for this stuff before, and High was there, and Lim and all those guys, we'll see that again.
Yeah, I mean, TSM has knocked Cloud9 out of playoffs far too many times. I think it's time for High to get his revenge there.
Okay, there we go. All right. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and obviously this interview probably comes out afterwards, so we'll see how much you get to gloat or not. But, I do want to ask you on that topic of, just looking at TSM, Cloud9, CLG, especially C9 and TSM, what is it about your organization that, and maybe TSM's as well, that you think just develops these teams that always make it to the finals?
It's an interesting question. I think, I started at TSM,
Right.
and so maybe there's some sort of like Regi like secret sauce that he brought to me, or the other way around. I don't know. But I think, if you look at the owners who put a lot of time into your teams, you're going to see that it's me and Regi. We take the LCS very personally and are very involved with our teams like on a daily basis, and I think that really shows in the product.
Yeah, even with Regi, we hear of him always like, what, 2/3 through the split, suddenly TSM starts a slump and he shows up and whips some people into shape. Do you think, on your end, what is your involvement? Like, surely you're not the guy coming in and being like, hey, you really need to work on your Baron calls or whatever,
Right,
But how do how does your involvement reflect the success of this team?
Yeah, I'm not a coach, and I don't tell the players like what to do in the game at all. But I'm involved a lot on setting up on the lifestyle of the players, making sure like the daily routines that we take very seriously are written out correctly for the players. I'm involved in making sure we have the correct management and staff, which is like Reaper and Robin and the PTs and the sports psychologists are all available to the players. And I work in the LCS house, so like my when I'm taking calls with sponsors, like I've got sometimes the players yelling around doing their scrims in the background, and I think it's important for me to always have an understanding of where the players' mindsets are, how they're feeling coming into scrims for the week, and how they're going into the following weeks games as well. And by having a really close like temperature on how the players are feeling, I can sometimes circumvent any issues that might come up. And I think you'll see with other teams is that they'll let these small issues that could actually deal with right away grow into big monster problems that it's like, players walking off the roster before they can't really deal with it.
Right.
But I'm able to catch those problems early on and make changes if needed.
The other thing that's always been impressive to me about C9, much like TSM, you seem to be able to identify talent really quickly. Whether it's somebody coming up through the Challenger Series and back whenever you had what would eventually become FlyQuest, and to having a couple people in the same spot, so you can sub them in or out based on that stuff. Where is that advice coming from the coach? Do you think you just are great at interviewing players ahead of time and drafting them accordingly? Where does the success in finding all this talent come from?
I have some really great folks that I work with to help me scout players, and then I have my own list of things that I want to check off on player like personality like attributes that they have or they don't have, and if the players kind of meet all of my expectations on a player that I think would be good for Cloud9, it seems to have a pretty good track record. It's not perfect, but I think we do a pretty good job.
And then maybe finally you can talk to me a little bit about the roster that you're working with this year and the one that's headed to Vancouver next week. This is a bit of a different roster, I think, from the ones that, like, if you look at Cloud9 for so long, there was that one lineup that just didn't change forever, right? What is unique about this roster, and what really what do you think makes it a finalist contender?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't like. I don't really want to say exactly what it is why I like this roster, but I think these players are extremely passionate about the game. They when they're not in scrims, they're looking to play solo queue. So I don't need to ever really chase them down. I don't need to tell them, yo, hey, you shouldn't go out to this party or be drinking and not taking care of yourself. They've already got it in their head that they want to make sure that they're in really good shape to play, and they want to put the time into actually studying the game. And I've been over the last several years looking to collect players that have the proper mindset to be the best player they can be and to be the best teammate that they can be. And those are two totally different things. I mean, you can be a fantastic player but an awful teammate, and you can be a fantastic teammate but you're just not good at the game. Right. And I've been really looking to build a team of people that can check both those boxes.
Very good. Well, is there anything you want to say to any of the Cloud9 fans after, I'm sure, what's a very exciting day for you?
Thanks for always supporting us. We look to, change what's happened in the past with TSM for the last several playoff outings. I think it may be 4 times in a row that TSM has knocked us out of playoffs, and I intend to end that streak.
All right. Very good. Well, looking forward to seeing everything happen next week and tomorrow, I guess, as Cloud9's little sister team shows up and maybe can overthrow TSM. You don't even have to worry about them. Yeah. That'd be nice. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports here at Yahoo Esports.